Down at Amara Fish Pond, things went wrong. This Gintu was the expert, but he's long gone. Tilapia swimming slow, turtles in a haze. Fish pond turned to trouble in those crazy days. Oh, the fish were suffocating, ammonia in the air. No water in the pond, and it just ain't fair. Turtles and the tilapia fighting for a breath. Amara Fish Pond flirting with death. It's Gintu kept the balance, or so we thought. But then he got the axe and the pond was bought. Turtles crowding corners, fish belly up and still. Ammonia creeping higher, giving us the chills. Oh, the fish were suffocating, ammonia in the air. No water in the pond, man, it just ain't fair. Turtles and the tilapia fighting for a breath. Amara Fish Pond flirting with death. Keeping fish with turtles, what a wild mistake. No flow, no filter, just a stagnant lake. His Gintu could have saved it, he knew the fix. Now the pond's a graveyard, caught in the mix. Tilapia floating quiet, turtles barely crawl. No water left to save them, no hope at all. Amara was a legend, a cautionary tale. Fish pond dreams all drowned in a rusty pail. Oh, the fish were suffocating, ammonia in the air. No water in the pond, man, it just ain't fair. Turtles and the tilapia fighting for a breath. Amara Fish Pond flirting with death. So here's to its Gintu, fired and gone. The fish pond silent now, no swan song. Raise a glass to the chaos, the mess we've seen. Amara Fish Pond, a busted dream. So here's to its Gintu, fired and gone. The fish pond silent now, no swan song. Raise a glass to the chaos, the mess we've seen. Amara Fish Pond, a busted dream.
Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are, welcome back. It's underscore Gintu back again to the route of today. Here we are at the G Castle, and we are looking so fantastic and good and califragistically good, and everything is going promptly with how we have arranged the day to go, and God is between everything, and we are going on very fantastic from wherever time you are. And today is 28th February 2025. As we go on with the remuneration of today, I've got much of the guts today to come out clearing, and I've seen much of the validations that people are coming out with, which are promptly stupidity and silliest things of the highest order. As now, you know, whenever things get better, some people want to get propaganda so that they can just input onto the real fibratic time zone that we are, so they can just kick you out of the box. And even whenever a person want to destroy a monkey zone, make sure that is naming the monkey a very bad name, so as whenever you want to dismantle and smash it into pieces, it's gonna be hit like Cherokee drums. That is a real validation, because today you have seen Amara himself sent an agent to come and interrogate me and get much of the points that are going on, thinking about Gintu is being paid so as I can just tell people the validity about what's really happening with the Kenge and what's really happening to this kind of the fracas that are always coming out with this kind of the sarcasm pathway of the family we are talking about. And to know and to get every kind of the point together, I'm still sympathizing with this kind of the people, because they will never ever come to a conducive environment and talk about, whenever they sit together, cherishing themselves together, think about, Gintu maybe is getting a support. Imagine they're now allocating. Today I've just got a point that somebody saying about, when Gintu's house will be built with some of the people, now it's gonna be another person on the shift. It will be Kohera Senior. I don't know even this kind of a man called Kohera Senior. I'm just hearing some people talking about Kohera Senior, but I've never met him. I've never seen him one-on-one. And the time that they are talking about, these are the boys. Imagine talking about, Masubowan, Gintu, Mogesi, they're just my sons. And I have a backup. Who told you that I'm a backup of somebody? Who told you that even if you are in the time zone we are, and you think about, Gintu has to talk about, we have a person who is mentoring us. We don't have anyone who is mentoring us. And the real fact about it is, Kohera Senior just man up a little bit, and I'm not working for anyone. So if you think about I'm working for anyone, you are just sorry, and I'm sorry for that one. So get the point clean. And also the real fact about right now I've got one of the guys who are representing Ayamarwa in the podcast of Ayamarwa. Now he has come out with his own podcast because he has killed the other podcast that was coming out clean, which is Sintake and also Pablo Ke. The fact about what is really happening, you understand that they talked about this podcast called Nyabuhanse Podcast. It will never go anywhere because nobody will ever watch this kind of the people, and that's how it died. And up to date, they cannot come out clean and talk about. We want to talk about what is really happening in Nyabuhanse because they don't have right now a validity content that's going to be put in a segment and people to enjoy the podcast. But what is really happening, because the podcast once upon a time, I can just give you a small review. They are used to be in Ayamarwa zone during that time, and they could not even give us an opportunity for us to talk to their own channels and even to that kind of a podcast whenever they were hosting Ayamarwa. So for me, into that kind of a position I talked about, it was a failure for them. They could not host every kind of the point, so make sure that they're coming out with a valid point that they could discuss and talk about. Yes, today we are hearing from Ayamarwa, tomorrow we'll be hearing from Gintu. And that's where the failure came. And they think about whenever they will be only speaking about what Marwa is talking about, the development of Marwa and their own family. That's where they lost the focus. Because whenever they were now thrown into a pogrom outside here, they started now looking for the other people who they never needed during that time. That's why you see nobody was voluntarily going to their podcast because of this kind of the issues that I always talk about. If you think about you're going to be starting a YouTube channel and venture yourself into thinking about you have to support one family, one thing, and seduce yourself and make sure that you are just honey to this kind of the family, I'm very, very sorry, because you lose another part, and it's better you be a punctual today, because Kenge himself knows that there's no one I can just allow to come onto my G Castle here as I'm bringing the vibe together. He knows that whenever you come while you are just punctual and you know how things are coming. He sent a person who I know, and I've ever gone to his own podcast once upon a time, because he was no longer available. He needed my own services so as he can grow. And that's why I always talk about much of the people who can ever help somebody to grow, it's Gintu, not Ayamarwa. I'm telling people as a fact, because I'm never in any team. Whenever you call me, whenever you are in Ayamarwa and you want to Rindima, you can Rindima with Gintu. And if you are in Ayamarwa and I'm here, I can Rindima with you wherever you want, and we can just go forward. But one kind of the sarcasm that is going on, and going around every time is that kind of a stupid habit that Kenge has, that if you meet with Gintu, there's nothing ever we can just do with you. That's why he has sent one of the agents today, and he has come to interview me. And now they're coming to reconciliation, whereby I talked about they're going to be looking for us. And that's the real fact, because I will never leave to rectify their own stupidity and their nonsense in terms of their own family coming out thinking about their only people who have to talk about much of the things and to the village, yet they have nothing to offer to the society, rather than taking some people, the vulnerable, we can talk about staffs that do come as a surprise, and they think about they are going much further more from where they have just reached by today. And the real fact is the questions, they were just coming very randomly and stupidically, and a little bit I could just answer, because I'm not a person of fearing that, oh, this has to be this has to be this one, but I always come out clean, talk about this is what is really happening. And the person who is there thinking about, and I know these are the goons who are being sent with a Kenge, so they can just, even this kind of a question was formulated, because once upon a time, I understand Kenge himself came out and talked about the person who is sponsoring this kind of the boys, he's making things wrong, and nobody, look at the, just such, because you think about you are the only person who can be getting sponsors. We are not interested with sponsoring like the way you want a sponsor so they can just even buy your land. We are not interested with that one. We work on ourselves, and we know how to work so as we can just aim at the reach we are moving to. And that's the propaganda now they want to go out, because they have seen the impact I'm bringing to the environment, and they're now not knowing, because whenever we talk about Priska Sagati, they know who is building for Priska Sagati. Whenever you go to talk about Pasi, they know who is building for Pasi. Whenever you go to Nasto, they know who is supporting Nasto. Whenever you go to Mayuguno, they know who is supporting Mayuguno. Whenever you go to Gitiriba, they know who is supporting Gitiriba. Whenever you go to Royal Kim, they know who is supporting Royal Kim. Whenever you go to Diana Kemi, they know who is supporting Diana Kemi. Whenever you go to go with J, which is Brilliant Travel, they know who is supporting Brilliant Traveler. Whenever you go to Cloud Joseph, they know who is supporting Cloud Joseph. And who else? Whenever you go to True Boy, talk about all the people who are just building. Whenever you go to David Jr., they know who is sponsoring David Jr. to build. But whenever they come to Gintu, they will look, they will search, they will never get anything like that one, because they think about, Gintu could not have, I'm telling people this as a fact, because whatever you are doing to enrich yourself and get whatever you have right now, it's not what Gintu is always doing to get himself get where I am moving to. And everybody who is just reaching it, because the agent, whenever he arrived, only he just went down there and stood at the sand there, and he was talking about my bread. This kind of, it's a very big house, and I've never seen this kind of a house in Nyaboanse. That is the real vibe, because everyone who is just coming is just wondering, oh, how is it? It's totally different. I will never be the same as how people think about Gintu will be. They think about, oh, Gintu will build like Nasto. No. Gintu will build like Gitiriba. No. Gintu will build like Mayuguno. No. Gintu will build like Diana Kemi. No. Gintu will build like Go DJ. No. Gintu will build like talk about I see Pablo Jr. They're doing something there. No. They think about Carl Joseph. No. But whenever they come Priska Sagati, no. Whenever they come to the real essence of the time, they're just wondering, how is Gintu making it happen? And they're trying the best job, or the best thing they could just ask me is, Gintu, how are you making this kind of the things to come out? And every kind of the video I'm always posting, it's at the night, because I like this one, I'm doing it at 6. You can just see the sun is setting there. And the first video came, it was like 4 p.m. there. Can talk about 4 p.m. and this one is 6 p.m. After uploading, I'll always come to the next one, as it's gonna be extending the uploading. So they're just wondering, how is it possible? From the morning, I have other works to do, so as we can just come out clean, and everything is going on clearly, and people can get this as proper. The person is just propagating and talking about, oh, Gintu, whenever Gintu's house will be finished, we are going to Kohara scenario. Keep wasting your time, keep wasting your energy, and wait for it, because you will wait until the dog will ever come out to talk about, oh, I want to have a tissue, so as I want to go to the toilet. You'll wait until God comes down. And the person is alleging. I know this kind of the rumors are always coming from within, because they're the people who we used together with them. We used to be together. We used to go here and there. And right now they're just wondering, how is it that Gintu now is coming out clearly, once one-on-one live, and making sure that things are coming out clear. And this is the effect that is bothering them very much, and everybody understands. And to the real postquams and the osquams of the day, they're going to be waiting for that moment. Oh, Kohera Senior. I'm not interested with Kohera Senior, because I've never liked that man, because he failed at the first moment, where he never did what was which was recommendable, because after leaving the Congrats mom and went and never focused on how he could just go back and check on how she is ongoing on her studies, or where she left to, and now he's coming right now to talk about she belongs to her. I'm not interested with such kind of the programmicity of the time. The fact comes once that if he moved on and the conman moved on, so what next? What are you coming outside here to tell us that Gintu, they're my son? I'm not a son of somebody. I have my parents here a little bit, and we are taking care of them. But come out clean and talk about, yes, we have a support, I have a support from here. But getting some propaganda to Gintu, it's a no-go zone. And that's the real fact about why I'm always the way I am. And the real fact about this kind of the people, they have to be told the direct rule, because they want to use Kohera Senior because of this kind of the reactions, this kind of the things that how they're just moving on. Because the questions were coming after questions, even asking about if we have a seat, me and Marwa together, and we are traveling from one place to another, can we sit together? I talked about what it's there is one, because we are coming from the one village, and from one village it means that if the reaction is always going as a reaction, don't think about this kind of the people. Once upon a time it will not come to a reconciliation. It's going to be coming, but right now they have to be given a lecture, and it will never end, and Gintu will never end putting this kind of a family to an open air if they will never rectify and come clean to their platform and say, and to their own platform, and come to my platform also and say it, that we are really sorry about whatever happened. If they can never, because they are rude beyond measure, if they can never do such kind of a thing, better for them to be there. And I'll still emphasize and give people the valid point about how this kind of the family is behaving crookedly, abnormally, and illiteracy that is unto their own mind. And whenever they are being aged, they are becoming so arrogant, and sacrificiously they are becoming people who are not even acknowledgeable unto their community. But when we come out clean, they will just come and put everything out, and people will understand that, oh, this kind of the things, the allegations were so silly, the allegations were so minute, and when we come out clean, everything will be very fantastic. And keep it letting people so they can just think about, they want to be lowering my mind. My mind is still fixed, and nobody can ever change my mind. If I set it, this is how it has to go. And the real fact about it is people think about, oh, now we're gonna be going and lowering into some money so as we can just get how can a person come from Kenge fraternity and come and talk about, oh, Gintu, we are hearing it from you are the people who are telling the propaganda out. I'm not the one who is traversing this kind of the propaganda every time, but the effect comes once always, that if we want to go forward, we have to go forward as a whole. But the term of you using that we have to relax, maybe think about, maybe we are lactating behind. I'm not interested in such kind of the insinuations that are always coming out. And the probability of us to make sure that everything is moving forward, it's either we trust each other. If you cannot trust each other, there's nothing can ever portfoliolize my own affinity and talk about I'm gonna be now going to support this kind of the family. I'm not interested with them, because they have nothing to offer to me. And they to the real effect of the time is they think about everybody now should just go back, or they think about, oh, Gintu gonna be looking for the iron sheet from them. Guys, right now as I'm just speaking this kind of bringing this kind of the vibe right now here, I have timbers. Look at these timbers here, these ones here. They are just made for the parent. They are all over. You can just check them all around. They are all around. So the only thing that's remaining here, it's just putting the parallel. And the parallels are the ones that they were used in terms of supporting and getting the formwork of this kind of the slab I'm standing on. And whenever they will be just finished, already I have the tiles onto the house. It's gonna be fixed. Talk about much about the bricks. They are already done onto the kiln, and they have been talk about burnt very completely, and the color is coding very muchly. The only thing is placing here the parallels and construct the other wall, which is the outer wall here, to make sure that the tiles will be put and the iron sheet are always available. The only thing is hitting them very fantastically where needed. But the term that they're coming out with, talking about, oh, we are waiting for that moment. If it's Kohera Senior, well, good for him. If it's the one who is now selected by God, but everything is by God. But what I know right now, it's Mogesi who is going to be going next, and there's no one who is supporting Gintu to talk about 100%. Give your own affidavit, talk about 100% Gintu is supported, like 1 million, like what and what and what. I have support, and I like people, whatever small support I always get in terms of buying some cements here, buying some steels here, and continuing with the G Castle, and we have to move forward. But the time about talking about, oh, we have one person who is making sure that sponsoring, I'm not Kenge, and I'm not a person to be talking lies about how Kenge is going to be talking about, oh, I'm not here to talk about such kind of the irresonant things about how Kenge ever grew and things like that one. And the real effect that comes out clean is how we see ourselves and how we put ourselves in our standard. It means that we are focused on what we want to do, not really about what is really other people are doing and showing us on what we are doing. I'm unique in my own. I said one day that I'm not the best, but I will never be like the rest. That's the real fact about myself. And I really pump my blood and talk about tomorrow is another day. And from the God's how he has planned everything to come, I know myself that I'm going to be making it. And when we talk about we're going to be making it, we're going to be making it. They have seen from the foundation, because they thought about, oh, Gintu going to be lacking behind. Everybody, whenever you want to construct, they talk about, oh, let's wait. Because if you see to the real videos of Gake, whenever he was told that, oh, Gake come out clean, tell people the fact about what's really happening to the villa. Because this kind of a person has ever been using you, has ever done this, and they were promising that, oh, I want to build you. Right now, it's lacking behind because of what? I will never, like right now, they talked about, oh, Gintu going to be building something small. Right now, it's a G Castle. You can see it here. And it's one of the best and the best houses coming out very fantastic and clean. And to the real effect of the time, I'm going to be saying that we thank the living God who has made this far we came from, and right now where we have reached. And not that we have to talk about, oh, we go to Kenge, oh, kneel down, oh, talk about I have you are surprised. And I told people, if you know that you ever took some of stupid things to Kenge, like cooking oil, like sugars, like such kind of the essential stuffs to his, you are just lacking, and you lack it because you ever took your own advantage to him. But you could have done something good with the money that you ever used to go there. And right now you can see how the people are just reacting. Look at these people who took every kind of the stuffs there. Look at Machacha, look at Kengor, look at Prince Odinga, look at Mawera, look at Chris Moniko, look at Itembe 001. They're the people who ever ran with this kind of the things there, and they never knew this kind of the history it's running, that never ever use your own opportunity to offer your opportunity to another person. You are letting him go. And if you'll come next time, never do such kind of a mistake. Just learn from the mistake you have ever done and never repeat it once and again. And this is the fact about what's really coming out. And that's why you see now Kenge is talking about this kind of the people, they have to come and kneel down. He will ever talk about you are the ever went there, you ever went to do, you went there with some of the things to lure him. It's something that it will ever recurrent because the videos are there. You went so as you can just ask for forgiveness. You asking for you to trend. You asked for for subscribers. You went there for a shout out. You went there with a lot of things to lure him. So it's something that will ever be recurrent. And right now, if you see yourself or you think about things are going on clean, you'll just find that you are losing the temper and losing it as a large. And the real fact is, let's keep on pressing in on ourselves, because if you talk about you're gonna be being pressed, or we have to be pressed so as we can just make it, you are losing, because once upon a time, I always go with the quotations that always Ayamaro ever told me. He told me that again, to make sure that whenever you are monetized, make sure that you are always putting videos coming out every time, then and then. So if you put the video in consistency, so as this is your office, and some of the people are just reacting and thinking about, oh, things will just come. Whenever Kenge comes, I'll go there, I'll get a shout out, and things will move on whenever he comes. Oh, we're gonna be shining again. Nobody's bothered with that one. But to the real end time, you'll find that you are the one who is losing it, and no one is going to be losing it if it's not you. And to the esquamarization of the time, much of the people think about, oh, Gintu just woke up and talked about, oh, the G Castle has to come out. Oh, guys, I started planning. You saw even I was going where the materials were coming from. I came with the materials, small. And that's how I always encourage much of the boys like Moges always. Make sure that you are putting the materials, keeping the materials coming, and get the full quotation of your house and come out clean and talk about, I want this kind of the materials. How many materials, how many trips do you want me to bring? Start bringing them to small. Like right now, the bricks are already formulated and they are good burnt. So I want to take them from that kind of a cleaning they are, place them in a house, and make sure that I have, without stocking, talk about the unburnt bricks. I want to store the burnt bricks only. And whenever I'll just finish the whole clean and put it onto the house, it means that I'm going to be going back to the formulation again, to the formulation team. So they're going to be continuing formulating. I want to formulate until they get to 40,000. And I know now I'll just have a perimeter wall fixed. And the only thing is bringing cement and continuing with the work. That's the best moment that I want to do. As right now, it's a sunny time. I want to use this sunny time as whenever it will start to rain, I'll be having everything put aside and everything gonna be running. Like getting a cement, whenever it's raining and it rains, there's no effect about bringing a cement from Nyabuanse, or it's in the store and it's just a cement, the bricks are there. You know, formulation is a bit different, and it differs with the talk about the soil you have, such kind of the things. But if we come out and talk about, I have this kind of the materials. I started gathering materials talk about 4 months ago. And right now, I'm doing something very corrective, as I'm using the same materials to run and make sure that everything is going on clean. And also, everything is being, like right now, when they are just in an off, I'm bringing tiles, I'm bringing waterproofs, I'm bringing a sand, and also I'm bringing some cement. So whenever they come back to work after next week, I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be complete, the whole of it, and even tiled on top of the G Castle. And already even where I am, it will be screeded, and if God willing, I'll put the tiles as I finish with the upper section as I go in. And that is the biggest moment. And the people are supporting Gintu, thank you very much, and making it happen, because it has not been easy for me to run for this kind of the bigger end I have reached. And we really talk about, thank you very much, and kudos to everyone who has been there to make sure that Gintu is moving forward very characteristically good, and keep on supporting so as we can make it happen. And we are outshining them. They're just wondering right now. And if now it will come to an end and I'll have the party, they will just be wondering, oh my living God, these are very bombshell. And they will be just not even understanding themselves. Oh my living God, how is Gintu has ever made this kind of the things to happen? And they will be just scratching themselves, scratching their head, scratching their face, scratching their mouths, just open their mouth well and talking about, oh, how this can That's how the life is. And never think about the person who was low during that time will ever be low up to this time. Right now, you have seen much of the people are in Kenge fraternity just kneeling down, bowing down for him, which is the stupidity of the highest order. I'll never do such kind of a thing to a human being like he ever recommend people to do. And think about whenever you are everywhere, talk about Maura is the one who has helped me. Oh, na 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 blah 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 blah. There's nothing like that one. But if we come out and talk about we have to strive on ourselves, we're gonna be making it happen. And if God says that this is what you have to do and you'll build it, maybe next time they will just be wondering when I'll be having talk about maybe now I'll be having a story building somewhere. They'll be just wondering about, oh, how is Gintu making it happen? It's because of one thing. Kenge himself is a drug a consumer, and you know about it. And also talk about most of the YouTubers are in terms of liquor. They are just in liquor. They always take alcohol. And whenever you come to Gintu, I'm always at home and making sure that the things are going smoothly. And talk about much of the people think about, oh, now the YouTubers have money, or Gintu have money, or dating here, flirting with ladies there, shaking nyashes with some ladies there, or pumping some ladies boom boom from here, from that point. I'm not with that kind of a person, because I understand where I've come from and understand where we are going. And my team, I really congratulate and talk about, thank you very much for your time and making it happen. Unaenda home? Junior hajakuja? Si ndio nimempatia doa aende kuchange? Alisema anaenda kuchukua simu Nyabwanzi. Labda basi tumutafute, si ndio? Wacha basi nimalize. Yeah, guys, we are ongoing, and everything is so good, and I congratulate for everyone who has been tuned and watching the videos until the end. But this kind of Kenge sending his own people, I know the tricky that they are using, and I don't have much of the station to talk about welcome every time, because he is the one who's going to be welcomed here again, and he's going to be coming on himself, because that's the fact, as I know. He's going to be talking about an example. We have Gintu there, and it will be coming, because people think about somebody to mention it, or having a grudge with somebody. It will be there for permanent. They will be just wondering. I told the people that whenever it will reach a time, Gintu will be invited, or Gintu will be just founding himself in a very big platform, and will be talking about, but I think about Gintu was not going on in hand with the Kenge. How is it happening that Gintu is going on and on? And if they saw Gintu with Lady J and things were moving, what about the essence of today that a person can come and talk about? I want going back. Imagine, guys, now Kenge going to the platform talking about I'm sorry about whatever happened, and I'm really sorry, I will never do this kind of a thing. I need resolution into Nyabuhanse. How are we going to leave this kind of people? They'll be thinking about, oh no, it could not be that way, I was the one needing such kind of a shout out. They will just be wondering, and they will just be talking about, oh, why Gintu? They will just be wondering. But the real effect of the time is things do change. You can never know what is tomorrow. And whenever tomorrow calls, nobody knows what is in tomorrow. And if it comes, even tomorrow, you can never know what comes to the real fantastic moment. Wait for it. Even tomorrow is another day. Not even tomorrow of the past, but tomorrow which is coming to tomorrow. And things are coming out very fantastic. And people will just be wondering, oh, this way, oh, this way. And if you talk about Gintu is being sponsored, yes, I'll be sponsored. And why not you not being sponsored? So you are now seeing the reactors now are making it happen because of their aptitude and standing still to make sure that we are rectifying and not fearing this kind of the crooked family, which is absolute